Okay, so 2x plus 4 equals 4. We're isolating the variable, meaning again to put it on its own because we want to solve for it. We're solving this equation. We have minus 4, minus 4. These cancel out. Now we get 2x plus 0. We don't need to write that. Equals 4 minus 4, which is 0. Now we're thinking, oh, what is this? Well, 2x, 2 times some variable equals 0. Now we can do something where we're going to do the opposite of what's going on in this term. In this case, it's a product, it's a multiplication. We're going to do the opposite of that. So we're going to divide by 2. So if that made sense, over here we had plus 4. We did the opposite. Just think, addition is the opposite of subtraction. Multiplication is the opposite of division. So here we have minus 4 when there's plus 4. Here we have divided by 2 when it was a multiplication problem. And remember, 2x means multiplication, 2 times x. So 2x equals 0. We're going to divide by 2 on both sides of the equation. Here's a rule. Here's a mantra, algebraic mantra. Get it ingrained in your head. Memorize it, believe it, live it. Whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. Okay? Can we all say that? Just,
Whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have got to do to the other.
You have to do to the other, whether you like it or not. All right, so here we had minus 4. And Paul, what did we do to the other side of the equation?
We put a minus 4.
Right. So it's a balancing. And again, think of equation. There's the equal symbol. We're balancing it, okay? So 2x equals 0. We divided by 2 here. We can't just go, well, it's 3/4 x equals 17. I don't like 3/4, so I'll just multiply that by the reciprocal, getting rid of that. X is 17. You actually have to do the same to both sides. It doesn't sound like something you necessarily always want to do in a very long abstruse equation, but it actually is the way that we have to do it just because you want to, essentially all you're doing is just looking at the equation in a different way. 2x equals 0. Dividing by, because again the opposite, these cancel out because 2 divided by 2 is 1. And this is something else, 1x. We don't really write 1x. We don't need to write 1x. Might as well just say what this is. 1 is the coefficient. The coefficient is simply the number before the variable. That's all it is. And we can just think about that. The beginning there, the prefix co, because again, the etymology, I like to think about what words mean to help me remember them. Co, think what are words that have co at the beginning?
Well, it means together.
Yeah, it means together. So we think of like a co-op, or cooperation. What?
Co-author.
Co-author, fine. So this is something that means bringing together a union of some sort. So coefficient, without getting really into the word efficient, I'm just going to leave it at that because that's the main thing is together. So 2 and the variable, they're together. So that's the coefficient of this. Anyone remember what this is? 2x is a?
Term.
Very good, very good. So the coefficient of the term is 2. So getting back into this equation, we haven't solved it yet. 2x equals 0. This originally was 2x plus 4 equals 4. We're dividing on both sides by 2, and we get x equals 0 over 2. The top of the fraction, bottom of the fraction, whenever the numerator is 0, the whole thing is equal to 0. Because essentially, the fraction bars are saying division. 0 divided by 2 is 0. But if we had, this is not related to this problem, but if we had 2 divided by 0, does anyone know what that equals?
Unknown, isn't it?
Yeah. Infinity, perhaps, we can also, because this is not, how many times does 0 go into 2? Well, 0 doesn't go into 2 by an integer. And if we try to figure it out, our brains will explode. So anyway, x equals 0 divided by 2, which means x, as I said, that's 0, so x equals 0. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the original. We always want to go back to the original equation. The original equation. Again, that's why you don't want to erase it, because if you erase this, I got a problem here. I don't know what the original equation is anymore. So that's why you want to leave that there also, so you can, I should have stressed that before, so you can check it. So now we're going to check it. So we'll plug the 0 in for x. And remember, that doesn't mean that's 20. It means 2, the term 2x. 2 is the coefficient, x is the variable. 2 times x equals 0, plus 4 is 4. That works, and we're okay. As Dave pointed out in the break, got to stress, this side has to equal this side. That's why it's an equation. If this doesn't equal this, it's not an equation. Okay? So if we did all of our work and we got x equals 1, now I'm just going to say let's put it all right into here. Put the 1 in for x. We have 2 times 1 is 2, plus 4 is 6, and 6 we put a line through the equals, meaning does not equal 4. We've made a mistake somewhere, or they made a mistake in the book, or no, we probably made a mistake, or there's some sort of problem. This is not an equation. That's the main thing to stress.